So we continue with the chapter atmospheric pollution, and we move on to the third part of the chapter and the final part of the chapter, that is ozone depletion. Now, in our atmosphere, between the troposphere and the stratosphere, there is one layer that is at around between the heights of about 10 kilometers from the surface of the earth. There is one layer which is called as the ozone layer. Now, the ozone layer is a very important layer for us humans and the living organisms, because ozone layer is the layer which has the capacity to block the UV radiations from the sun to enter into the atmosphere. Now, the UV radiations which are entering into the atmosphere, which if enters into the atmosphere, they cause skin diseases and skin cancer to the people, and also it will cause damage to the plants also. So that is why the ozone layer becomes an umbrella for the earth, so that the UV rays cannot enter into the atmosphere. So that's the importance of the ozone layer. So ozone layer is very important. Now, unfortunately, we humans are doing certain activities which causes the depletion of the ozone layer. So the ozone layer, the thickness of the ozone layer is deteriorating day by day because of certain kind of activities what we do. Now, this depletion causes pockets of holes in the ozone layer, and accordingly there will be passage of UV rays passing through those pockets and entering to the earth's surface. So that's why very important to understand that what is ozone layer and why it is important to be protected, and how it is getting depleted and how we can stop the depletion of the same. So that is what we are going to learn in this chapter. So that is introduction. Ozone gas, that is ozone, is nothing but O3. Now this is an unstable compound, because we know that oxygen has got the diatomic structure, that is oxygen is always O2, but this is O3, that means it is an unstable kind of a compound. Ozone is a natural constituent of the atmosphere. It is bluish, explosive gas with a pronounced odor. Ozone layer is the layer in the Earth's atmosphere which contains a relatively high concentration of ozone. It absorbs 97 to 99% of the sun's high frequency UV light, which is damaging to life on Earth. The UV rays and infrared rays from the solar radiation cannot reach the Earth directly, and thus the ozone layer protects the life on Earth from harmful solar rays. So yes, this is the most important part, that the UV rays which are going to be coming from the sun, these UV rays are harmful rays, because they are UV rays, and the infrared rays from the sun, they are going to be harmful for the earth's surface, and this particular harmful rays are being blocked by the ozone layer. So that's why ozone layer protects the life on earth from the harmful solar rays. Location wise, it is located in the stratosphere above the earth. The earth's atmosphere is divided into layers. The three main lower layers are the troposphere, which is up to 8 to 10 kilometers above the earth, the stratosphere between 10 to 50 kilometers above the earth, mesosphere, which is 50 to 80 kilometers above the earth, and the ozone layer is mainly located approximately 20 to 30 kilometers from the earth, that is in the stratosphere. So the three layers are troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere. So stratosphere में बीच में is the ozone layer. Discovery of ozone layer. The ozone layer was discovered in 1913 by French physicist Charles Fabry. The properties were explored in detail by British scientist G. Dobson, who developed an instrument, Dobsometer, which could be used to measure the stratospheric ozone from ground level. Dobson unit is thus a measure for the density of ozone overhead. So what they say is Dopsometer is made by Dobson, and this Dobson is also the unit for finding out what is the layer of the ozone. So Dopsometer is the meter which we can use on the Earth's surface to find out that what is the thickness of the ozone layer from the ground over on the surface. So stratosphere में what is the thickness of the ozone layer can be measured by just a meter which is on the ground on the Earth's surface. So Dobson unit is the measure of the density of the ozone layer. Distribution of ozone layer in the stratosphere. The thickness of the ozone layer varies geographically and seasonally. It is less thick near the equator and larger towards the poles. So you'll always find that the thickness of the ozone layer is less on the equator side, but it is thicker on the pole side, that is the north and the southern hemisphere. This is generally thicker during spring in the northern hemisphere. Most of the ozone is created over the tropics, but the stratospheric wind circulation transported polewards to north and south hemisphere. So, yeah, no doubt that the formation of the ozone is taking place in the tropic area, that is near the equator, but due to the conventional cycle, due to the circulation of the wind, that wind circulation causes that particular ozone to be going towards the poles of the earth. So that's why no doubt generation is there in the tropic area, that is the equator area, but it is gone towards the two hemispheres, poles of the hemisphere. Now the formation of the ozone. So let's see about the chemistry of formation of ozone. Ozone is formed in the stratosphere. Highly energetic UV ultraviolet radiation from the sun breaks the oxygen molecule into two oxygen atoms. This chemical reaction is called as photodissociation or photolysis. The highly reactive oxygen atom O can then react with oxygen molecule to form ozone. So you can see that it's very surprising. What happens is that it is ozone which is blocking the UV rays, and it is ozone which is produced by the UV rays. So UV rays produce ozone and ozone is blocking the UV rays. Right? It is this way. So how does it form? The formation is very simple, that O2 which is present in the atmosphere is getting dissociated into O plus O. Okay? So that is forming into nascent oxygen. This is called as photodissociation because it is the dissociation of oxygen into a molecule. So that is why it is called as photodissociation or photolysis. This oxygen over here is going to react with another O2 to give you O3. So this is how the ozone formation takes place. So ozone formation is taking place by the nascent oxygen produced from an oxygen molecule to react with an oxygen molecule to form ozone molecule. So we see O2 in the presence, this is going to take place in the presence of UV light. Okay, UV rays, UV light, which is going to give you O plus O. And this O, of course, this is in bracket because it's nascent, and this is going to give you O3. Ozone is also broken down in the stratosphere. So yes, it is prepared in the stratosphere and is also broken down in the stratosphere. How? In unpolluted air containing minimum chemical components, unstable ozone molecule O3 in presence of solar radiation will split into molecular oxygen and atoms of atomic oxygen O. This atomic oxygen O then combines with another ozone molecule O3 to form two molecules of molecular oxygen. So yes, it may happen that in the same stratosphere, जहाँ पे ये बना, it may also happen that O3 is going to turn into, it is going to be broken down under UV rays again to O2 plus O, and then this O is going to react with O3 plus O to give you 2O2. So you can see UV rays form the O3, ozone. UV rays also breaks the ozone. So there is a normal process going on in natural form. In natural form, that's why the layers of, or we can say the belt of the ozone is not going to keep on increasing. See, you can imagine that the ozone layer is present on in the stratosphere for millions of years, but it doesn't happen that it is going to keep on increasing. It doesn't increase. Why does it increase? Because these two processes are taking place almost simultaneously. एक प्रोसेस के अंदर O2 is getting converted into O and O and then it is forming into O3, and another process O3 is getting into O2 and O and it is forming into O2 again. So that continuous process is going to take place under unpolluted conditions. So under unpolluted conditions, it may happen that the layer of the ozone may remain intact, okay, they may remain stable, but that's not true because of the pollution. So the atomic oxygen O then combines with another ozone molecule O3 to form two molecules of molecular oxygen. So the O3 will give you O2 plus O and O3 plus O will give you 2O2. There is a continuing process called ozone oxygen cycle. So this is nothing but called as a ozone oxygen cycle. This is nothing but ozone oxygen cycle. So that the percentage of ozone in that particular area remains constant. Thus, a continuing process called ozone oxygen cycle is maintained between the amount of ozone O3 being produced and being destroyed. As a result, the total concentration of ozone remains almost the same. So, the total concentration of the ozone inside the thing is going to remain the same. Why is it remaining the same? Because जितना generate हुआ उतना destruct हुआ. The balance is distributed by release of chemicals such as chlorofluoro is disturbed. Sorry, not distributed. Oh, it is distributed, yeah. It should be disturbed anyway. Such as chlorofluorocarbons containing atomic chlorine or bromine and other free radicals which break the ozone molecule causing ozone depletion. So we see that what is the function. First of all, let us see the function of the ozone layer and then we'll talk about the destruction of the ozone layer. Ozone layer in the atmosphere makes life possible on Earth. So ozone is the one which is making the life possible on Earth. Why? It is because radiation from the sun consists of electromagnetic radiation, cosmic and gamma rays, UV and infrared radiations, visible light. So the sun rays are not just one single light. It is combination of multiple rays. Certain things which you are able to see are visible light. That's only small part of it. The other part is the electromagnetic spectrum which we can't even see. So there is the electromagnetic radiation, cosmic radiation, gamma radiations, UV radiations and IR radiations. So these are the radiations which we cannot see but they are present as a part and parcel of the solar rays, sun rays. Ozone layer prevents harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun from reaching the earth. Ozone layer thus protects humans, animals and plants on the earth's surface from dangerous effects of UV rays. So mainly UV rays is going to cause the damage to the living organisms. So this particular UV rays are going to be blocked by the ozone layer. Hence they are acting as the ozone layer helps in the prevention or it prevents us from UV rays, protects us from UV rays. Ultraviolet radiations and its effects. What is the UV rays? A form of electromagnetic radiation with wavelength less than those of visible light. Based on their wavelength, they are referred to as UVA, that is from 400 to 315 nanometer, to UVB 315 to 280 nanometer. Effects of UV rays. UV ray A is significantly less harmful but causes genetic damage in living organisms. So normally it is not so harmful but it causes genetic defects, genetic damages. UVB are more harmful and causes damage to humans, animals and plants. So let's see what are the damages caused to the humans and plants, animals. To the human and animals, UV rays causes Sunburn and skin cancer. This is the most important part. It causes sunburns and skin cancer. Eye cataract and eye damage. It damages the eye, causes cataract to the eye. Early aging of the skin. The skin becomes wrinkled because it causes early aging of the skin. Weakening of the immune system. The body immune system, the body fighting system goes down. So that is weakens the immune system. Disruption in function of DNA. So DNA functions are going to be disrupted. And finally, severe damage to the cells of animals. So animal cells are going to be damaged by the UV rays. So these are the different damages caused by the UV rays to animals and humans. To plants, it retards plant growth. So retards plant growth means it is not allowing it to grow properly. So retards. Inhibits pollen germination. So pollen germination doesn't take place. So that is pollen grains are not formed. That is called as inhibits pollen germination. Reduces chlorophyll content. Understood? So photosynthesis कम हो जाएगा because chlorophyll कम है तो photosynthesis भी कम. Affects the quality of vegetables. Yes, affects the quality and increases harmful mutations. So harmful mutations, that is a changeover, the genetic changeover takes place in case of plants. That is harmful mutation takes place and disrupts ecosystem. So overall the ecosystem is going to be damaged by this particular thing. So that is the damage caused by the UV rays. Now how does the UV get depleted? So the depleting the ozone layer allows more UV rays to reach the earth. Thus ozone layer prevents or minimizes the damage caused by the UV radiations or humans, animals and plants. So yeah, if this particular UV rays are allowed to, which are already saw that it causes so many dangerous things. So agar UV rays are able to pass through the stratosphere and enter into the troposphere over here, enter into the Earth's atmosphere, then it is going to be problem. So that's why ozone is going to be a very important layer. Thus, depletion of ozone layer had to be prevented, and the Montrell Protocol on substance that deplete the ozone layer was adopted, without which the amount of UVB radiation reaching the earth would increase, causing devastation. So when people understood this particular fact that we are producing so many different kinds of pollutants which are causing the depletion of the ozone layer, and that is why immediately they understood this particular fact and signed a protocol called as Montrell Protocol, which is the protocol which each and every country needs to follow so as to reduce the production of the gases which would, or the pollutants which is causing the ozone depletion. So that's why everything becomes CFC free, and we use different kinds of refrigerant gases which are free from CFC, and we are decreasing the output of the CFC by the people. So we now see the destruction of the ozone layer. Chemicals responsible for destruction of ozone layer, they are formed by industrial and natural processes. A large number of industrial activities, jet and automobile exhaust, nitrogen fertilizers and chemicals used in refrigerants and as cleaning solvents are responsible for ozone depletion or destruction. Chemicals responsible for destruction of ozone layer. First is chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon. It is responsible for around 80% of the ozone depletion and contains chlorine, fluorine and carbon atoms. It is used in the chemicals like aerosol sprays, DO वगैरह जो होता है उसके अंदर, coolants in refrigerators and air conditioners, dry cleaning fluids, cleansing agents for cleaning electronic components. So carbon tetrachloride, which is a cleaning compound, all these are the ones which are going to cause chlorofluorocarbon, CFC, in the atmosphere. So that's why it's very, very important that we reduce the use of those ones. So other chemicals which cause the ozone depletion are methyl chloride, methyl bromide, carbon tetrachloride, bromofluorocarbons, methane and nitrous oxides. Okay. Now the causes of ozone depletion or destruction or depletion. Chemicals responsible for ozone depletion are stable on Earth, but are broken down by UV radiations in the stratosphere. So, Byproducts of the breakdown of those chemicals of by solar radiations or other chemical reactions result in increase in the level of free radicals like atomic chlorine and atomic bromine. That is nothing but nascent chlorine and nascent bromine. So what they say is the CFC, which is there, which is nothing but CFCl3. This is the actual chemical reaction equation of this thing. This is going to give rise to nascent chlorine. So nascent chlorine is going to be made available by the UV rays acting on the CFC. So when CFC is going to be reacted with the UV rays, it gives you nascent chlorine, and this nascent chlorine is going to react with the ozone to give you. So it is going to be Cl in nascent plus ozone, which is going to give me ClO plus O2. So this particular kind of chlorine monoxide is going to be formed, and the ozone is going to get depleted. So the products of the breakdown from those chemicals of UV radiation or other chemical reactions result in the increase in level of free radicals like atomic chlorine Cl and atomic bromine Br, nitric oxide radicals and hydroxide radicals. These chlorine, bromine and other free radicals initiate and catalyze a chain reaction capable of breaking down of over 1 lakh ozone molecules, resulting in ozone depletion. So ozone depletion takes place. Ozone O3 is broken down by CFC as shown above, wherein it is CFC with the UV rays is going to give you chlorine atom, and the chlorine atom with ozone is going to give you chlorine monoxide plus oxygen. So the ozone layer is destroyed and the free oxygen atom O later breaks up and ClO molecule into Cl atom, and the process repeats. So this process is going to keep on repeating itself, and there is going to be depletion. So ozone hole are severe depletion of ozone layer seen above the Antarctic region every spring. In the spring season, you will find that the Antarctic region has got an ozone hole because the depletion is so high that the whole area gets a pocket or a hole which is ozone free. Okay, there is no ozone over there. Now, prevention of ozone depletion is ozone layer can be protected by use of products that contain CFC to be replaced by alternative products. So, of course, instead of using CFC for aerosols or for refrigerant gases and all, or cleaning purposes, it is better to use some another products which are not having this particular kind of activity taking place in the UV rays, with the UV rays. So substitute of CFCs have been initiated by scientists, and the use of HCFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, is being considered. Labeling products as CFC free is initiated. So you will always find that new carousel, when there will be containers and all, will be having that written over there CFC free or no CFC written over there. This shows that whatever product we are using will not cause the chlorofluorocarbon to take place or generated in the atmosphere. Instead of that, there will be HCFC, which is hydrochlorofluorocarbon, which does not act over here because of the hydrogen over there. The chlorine is not going to remain as it is. It will form the hydrogen chloride over there, and hence it is not going to be depleting the ozone. And finally, international treaty Montrell Protocol was also initiated to prevent ozone depletion. So this was about the chapter, that is atmospheric pollution. As I told you, it was divided into 3 parts: acid rains, global warming and ozone depletion. So a very easy chapter as such, and that was the end of the chapter number 8 of your textbook, that is atmospheric pollution. Thank you.